Tell us about the first time you registered as a referee. What was that experience like?
Sure. So my first time as a referee, I had to register for a two-person in class that I physically had to go to, and both days were 8 hours long, very lengthy process, but I ended up getting my license in the end. So
Mine was a little simpler. It was mostly an online course, and then I had an in-person. It was about 2.5 hours, I think, down in Bloomington, and there was probably 30 people there and like 6 instructors. They were able to separate us and kind of instruct us each individually pretty well, so it helped a lot.
All right. Next question. After you went through the process to get your badge, how soon did your first game come after that? And what was that process like? You know, you calling them, somebody called you, etc. You know, can you share for that?
sure.
buddy?
So when I first got my license, I was playing at the time, so I had a lot of coaches who were able to get me in with recreational leagues in my area. I probably had my first game within 1 to 2 months of getting my license, and yeah.
I had my first game about 2 months after as well. This one, they reached out to me. I actually had previously reached out to a couple people, but unfortunately we weren't able to configure schedules. Otherwise, I probably would have had one closer to maybe a month and a half after I got it. But this was my first one, and they reached out to me. So.
Next question. Now that you're here in this environment, in this competition, with these games, with your colleagues, other referees, and the referee mentors that are here today, how do you see that? Is that beneficial? Is that something you recommend? And does that make any difference for you to stay registered as a referee and come back later?
I think for me, this experience was definitely beneficial because you get to work one-on-one with a mentor, a referee mentor, and you also get to talk to referees who might be on the newer scale or a really experienced scale, so I think you get a whole picture as a whole. I think everyone should go through something like this, more of like a field experience, just to build confidence and get pointers before you get thrown into your very first game.
I can echo what he said, especially because this was my first game that I was at. It's definitely helpful to have the mentors here. I thought I did okay, but then obviously there's some things I noticed, there's some things I didn't notice that they noticed that they can help me out with, and that obviously makes you better to start with. I have a lot to work on, but it helped a lot and made me a little more comfortable out there when I was kind of nervous to start.